Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Well, we will be discussing about different theories of intelligence. One approach among those is organismic approach. This was exponented by Jean Piaget. It explains intelligence development at species level. It emphasizes on children's intelligence development and ending at adolescence stage with formal operational thinking. So, this theory mostly emphasizes on how human thinking develops over a period of time. So, this gives us a developmental growth of human cognitive abilities across different ages. So, it highlights the age related abilities deficits, and it also focuses on the abstract reasoning, at what age a person is able to develop abstract and concrete abilities that is required for solving human problems in life. But if you look into the other theories such as the multiple intelligence theories given by Howard Gardner, Gardner say that intelligence cannot be described in one or two abilities. It is so wider, it can be considered in multiple frames, such as multiple theories of intelligence. So, Howard Gardner gives a theory that describes about 7 important abilities. One is called linguistic, musical, logico-mathematical, spatial, bodily kinesthetic, intrapersonal and interpersonals. When you talk about linguistics, maybe language has been always considered as one of the marker of intelligence. If you are not expressive, if you are not able to express your ideas either written or verbally, that is put you in a very awkward situations, and many times we prove ourselves foolish because we are not able to convey our ideas intelligently. So, that is why intelligence or language is considered as one of the important marker of intelligence. Many people are very poor in mathematical calculation, but if you see, they are very bright in music. Would you call them less intelligent? Probably not. So, that is why musical intelligence is also another one domain one could study them. Logical, mathematical, many times we have a lot of abstract ideas, but till the time you do not put them in proper framework in systematic way, it does not get any concrete shape. So, that is why logical ability is very much important to understand one's intellectual profile. Spatial abilities, how quickly one's ability to understand the spatial formations, the space relations. So, that is how when you understand the space relations in different objects, events, you will be able to project your thoughts properly. Bodily kinesthetics intelligence, you will find illiterate persons from deep village are becoming a champion in Rio Olympics. If you measure their IQ test, may be very less, but their bodily kinesthetic ability is very far. So, intrapersonal, it is related to your self knowledge, self insights, how it is the one's ability to project yourself. Interpersonal, your relationship with others, that will help you to develop your social intelligence. Well, this is how Howard Gardner says that the application of multiple intelligence, the nature smarts. Some people are naturally, they are very smart, they look smart, genetically intelligent. Some people are people smart, interpersonal, they can easily make friends, they can collaborate with others, they can get along with others. Some people are number smart. If you ask what is the percentage of people are literate in India, people, they can remember so fast the number figures, they can easily tell you, or you give them the very mathematical problems, they can calculate it easily in very short time. Some people are very picture smart, they can draw good pictures, they can take care of a geographical space very well, they can visualize. Some people are self smart, they attract people by their own thoughts, own ideas, own talents. Body smart, some people are they are physiological, the kinesthetic, bodily kinesthetic ability is so good, they excel in their own field, particularly in sports and games. Musical smart, musical intelligence, and the world smart, they can explain they can describe the world in so beautiful ways as if they are the best in the world. Well, there is one more theory, this is in fact one of the process theories highlighted by Robert Sternberg, a famous psychologist, who talks about three important domains of human intelligence. One is called components. The components are what you call relate to the Cattell's theory of the fluid theories. Like components means our attention, perception, memory, etc., etc. But although these memories are at the fluid state, the context is very important. Context in the sense your environmental influence is very important to process and express your intellectual abilities and experience. Most of the abilities are gathered through our experience by meeting people, different challenges in the life, so that you can solve effectively your practical problems. Experience also builds up your practical intelligence. Well, this is how these three domains represents three different types of abilities. Componential intelligence, ability to think abstractly, process information effectively. Then experiential intelligence, the ability to formulate new ideas, to combine seemingly unrelated facts or information. And contextual intelligence, ability to adapt to changing environmental conditions and to shape the environment so as to maximize one's strength and compensate for one's weakness. Another approach we call the dual process approach. You know, some intellectual abilities are very mechanical in nature, like without understanding you can write the answer, that is called mechanical. In early periods of our life, we all are mechanical in our intelligence, but the moment you grow up, years to years, you build up your logical understanding of events, objects, etc. So that's why the basic information processing, many informations are stored in your memory without understanding them. Then how do you memorize them? We memorize them sequentially, step by step. We think that if you remember these events one after another, that will be the appropriate way of doing the things correctly. So that is why most of the informations are mechanical in nature. Like say content poor universal biological and strong genetic determinations. So these mechanic intellectual abilities are formed on the basis of our biological determinants. But the pragmatic knowledge, these are factual and procedurals, when you try to explore and believe things on the basis of facts. So you say, okay, you are saying like this, what is the facts behind this? You were saying that Donald Trump is going to lose the battle of American election 2016. What are the preconditions? What are the facts and figures? Do you have any survey? I say that Hillary Clinton is going to win because she has the better support. Then we look for the projection, the political survey of different agencies. So on the basis of facts and figures, we conclude that it is Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton is going to win the elections. So on the basis of facts and figures, we want to develop our understanding at the concrete level, at the pragmatic level. So content is very rich, culture dependent. Sometimes pragmatics are, these are culture specific abilities, otherwise then it will be mechanical. So the facts that is available in one culture may not be same in other cultures. So that's why, and it is also experience based. We are making survey on the basis of our experience, asking people, but you never know at the last moment, like the way it happened in United States. At the last moment, the whole scenario completely changed. So, three phases system of model shows that this is developed by Marion, a model of integrated intelligence. One of Indian psychologists also tried to develop integral intelligence, a very integrative approach, well integrated approach of human abilities to understand intelligence in a holistic framework. So, this model highlights three important domains of human intelligence: how we process information, and the knowing refers to the process of our memory, knowledge about the world, how we relate to one's experience throughout life and a lifetime recording. So, processing, knowing adds or helps us to make use of information in our thinking processes. That builds up the cognitive base or creates metacognition, also higher level of information processing and mental functions. These are helpful to build up our cognitive domain, what we call our intellectual understanding. Well, taking clue from this, how this cognitive domain can be diversified, the information we gather through our experiences, it expands the horizon towards the divergent thinking that helps us to think different opportunities, different possibilities of life. What do we call? Sometimes we call thinking out of box, and we relate to the domain of creativity. So, let us examine what is the concept creativity. The ability to produce novel ideas that are high in quality and task appropriate. This is given by Sternberg, but it is one of the most ambiguous and confusing terms in psychology, because creativity is endless. Can creativity be mapped in by help of instrument? Is there any shortcut? You just look at the paintings of M.F. Hussain. He just put some dots and lines, and when he joins all this, it sells in crores. Nobody knows what is there, but everybody says, oh my God, what a wonderful paint. When I say nobody knows, but everybody praises it, that indicates towards the boundaryless zone of human abilities to appreciate others. So, creativity is not an ability, it is a skill to appreciate the creative works, right. So, therefore, Robert Stern believes the term creativity should be reserved for people who make unique and original contribution to society. Creativity cannot be valued without absence of the society or in the absence of people, because it is exceptional creativity only lives in societal phenomena. So, what are those? Let us examine in details. Robert Weisberg he talks about creativity, that these are ordinary creativity are basically refers to the creative behavior that is ordinary adults in ordinary or real life situations. Suppose ordinary is defined in the sense that something is unusual. We do not expect a child to perform certain task, but if he or she does, then we say the child is becoming creative. Because say for example, suppose a 4th standard child is solving the problems of 8th standard, then we would say he is becoming intelligent, he is becoming very what do you say, going beyond the ordinary children's. But Guilford talks about two types of thinking out of these creativity concepts. He says that divergent thinking and convergent thinking. Divergent thinking refers to the ability to produce many different answers to a single questions. We want to think from different perspectives. Multiple options are there for a single problems. But convergent thinking on the other side is the ability to derive the one correct solution to a problem. So that means there is only one correct answer to a particular problems. But when we talk about divergent thinking, we say it's the ability to produce multiple choices or multiple answers to a single questions. Suppose when I ask, what do you think about the President of India? This is a question. It has an answer related to convergent thinking. It has an answer to think about divergent thinking. But when I say, what do you think about President of India? You have lot many answers. But when I ask, how old is President of India? So you have one correct answers, right? So therefore, this is how. If I ask, how you will go to your hostel? You have multiple. You could have multiple answers. Somebody will say, I will go by bus. Somebody will say, sir, I walk down. Different people. There are multiple answers to this. But if somebody asks, where is your hostel? You have to particularly, it is in, say for somebody is from MT or RLB, you will say it is in front of RLB is in front of what is that shop? Yeah, Heritage or CCD or there is another transport company is also situated. Yes, somebody is Nivedita, suppose she is from Nivedita Hall. She will say, sir, it is in front of Tika. Simple answers, right? So when you have only one correct answers, it relates to your convergent thinking. But when you have multiple answers, you can think of multiple perspectives. Right. There is one more concept that relates to one's wisdom. Wisdom is such a word that has direct relationship, emotion, and human intellect. How we are going to see it? Wisdom has been considered in a varieties of ways. Wise persons have a good intellect and superior reasoning abilities. Wisdom is something, it relates to one's maturity of knowledge, highest level of experiences. When you try to see the highest level of goodness in yourself, that is what we think in terms of wisdom. Something most valued attributes of human life is called wisdom or wise ability. Sometimes I used to tell it wise ability, or the wisest ability is called wisdom. It's very broad and very difficult to explain in or put into a single word framework. Some people call it is the highest form of reasoning, but we have seen that wise people are more of abstract, more dominated by abstract thinking than concrete. So that's why some people say that wisdom is just like virtue. It's a pattern of behavior that society value highly. So wisdom is much of related to one's value related abilities and skills. So what is that virtues that one mostly care for? Can emotion be related to one's virtues and values? How? How one can attain highest level of values with full satisfaction? See, nowadays, say for example like spirituality. What is the evolution of spirituality? Why spirituality is required? Is spirituality a virtue or value? why people practice spirituality. Spirituality can be considered as a virtue. Spirituality is also can be practiced as a value. Spirituality is practiced to control human anger, human stress, human depression. It brings satisfaction to human life, and this satisfaction concept also related to emotions. It is the highest stage of achievement of human ability, so it is related to human intellect. You are trying, you are moving towards a stage of excellence. That is what we call wisdom. You have achieved a stage of excellence. Say for any theory, any expert coming up with a theory that is very well known, or you can say one's philosophy, Baba Ramdev's philosophy. There is, there are many Hindu philosophies and mythologies. If you look into Buddhist philosophy, it's different from Hindu philosophies. It is different from Jain philosophies. So, a philosopher who is giving his opinion about a particular way of living is becoming a virtue, and the way they are being reflected is showing the sense of one's wisdom in those philosophical thoughts, right? So, wisdom is necessarily good, it cannot be bad at all, because it is always for the benefit of others, and it depends on personally desirable conditions. What is the Buddhist philosophy about human life? How you will be happy, when you will be happy, how you can attain moksha, salvation. We talk about salvation. What is the means and ways to achieve salvation in human life? Desire. So, now the concept of desire is coming. Why? The concept of desire. This is nothing but human emotion, emotional need. This is nothing, human needs, which is completely emotional in nature. And how this desire could be managed? It could be managed by achievement of good deeds, by eradication of bad deeds also. That is what, these are two ways to achieve moksha. So, satisfaction of desire in one's life will leads towards achievement of moksha. Say for example, there is another philosopher who has established his own philosophy, is known as, it is very widely well known in internationally. His headquarters is located in Pune, India. He also practiced his own way of living. Osho, yes. Now, Osho philosophy is now very famous all around. He also talks about desires like Buddhist. But Gautam Buddha, the approach towards satisfaction of desires is through control of desire. But Osho's philosophy is through satisfaction of desires. This is how. But these are two ways, but goal is one. But the methods of achieving these goals is for the betterment of the whole societies. Although different people have different opinions in different times, but they have given their thoughts and ideas for the benefit of society, not only benefits of their own. And all these philosophies have their own logics and reasons. So, that is why any wise thoughts, wisdom is nothing but a process of expressing wise thoughts, that is all, for the benefits of mankind. And yes, now why it is called personally desirable condition? Some people say I want to make you happy by experiencing my own pain. A thing of beauty is joy forever. Like some people say, I can tolerate, I can digest all odd things to make you happy. I'll show you a small video clips that I was expecting that has got maximum review on YouTube, that is related to a child and dad relationship. You will find all intelligence, all emotions, all wisdoms are involved in those scenes. We'll experience why it is called, wisdom is called personally desirable, because each individual has their own way of looking at things, one way of thinking. Gautam Buddha say, more you control your inner desires, better you will be a person. But we have also seen in human lives, most of the depression, psychosis, neurosis symptoms develops more you control your thoughts and feelings. So, even if it is also being highlighted in Freud's theories, needs and desires are very important determinants of human personalities. The role of H.J. Murray has also highlighted the role of environmental influence, where he highlights the needs and desires. The expression and satisfaction of human needs and desires will shape in a particular way of a particular personal characteristics. So, that is why personally desirable conditions are essential to facilitate wise thoughts, what we call, to become a wise person or to express one's wisdom, the highest level of one's knowledge. Well, there are various perspectives, sociological, psychological and philosophical, but psychologist perspective regarding involving three cognitive processes related to the concept of wisdom is called practical and social intelligence. Where do you see practical and social intelligence in wisdom? A wise thought always facilitates. You have learned something good, you advise others. When you are under difficult conditions of like this, you should practice this. Like say for example, when you are, like say Baba Ramdev says, when you are under tremendous stress, you do yoga. So, he is the father of yoga. So, he has expressed all his wisdom or wise thoughts through the practice of yoga. So, when you see the practical and social utility of a particular philosophy, that is where you practice a particular kind of wisdom. It can be also, wisdom can also be defined as a social intelligence. When you express your social intelligence for the benefit of mankind, it becomes a wise thought or a concept, what you call wisdom. Wisdom is nothing but insight into the deeper meanings underlying a given situations. So, what is that insight into deeper meanings? When I am propagating the philosophy of yoga, I am exploring what the concept is, what are the mechanism involved, how it will benefit others. When you come back after this short break, we will examine details, what exactly the psychological perspectives of wisdom, and we will examine the interrelationship between emotion, intellect and wisdom. Thank you.